Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, very, very good question.
Yeah, this is a very good question.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
Oh, that's a great question.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question, Zanger.
It's a great question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question. Really good question.
Gosh, this question to me, I hate this question.
That's a loaded question. But okay.
Hello, everybody. You may get a Whit Heiler sighting today. Welcome to day 3 of the top 40. We are we're moving. We are from 20 to 11. Crazy. This has been a wacky week. But it's been a lot of fun. Before we get started, let's see. I got to do this real quick. Hold on. There's got to be a better way to do this. I was doing this offline. It's fine. You'll see all this. Happy birthday to my dog Belle. Our dog Belle. She turned 6 today. That's our little baby. So happy birthday to her. All right. A reminder that our good friends at Avid Exchange are supporting us. Thank you so much to Avid Exchange. As I mentioned before, the way that we approach partnership here is that we like to vet our partners, and so any partner that comes to us, they have to say, "Hey, these are 3 indie agencies that we work with. We'd like you to talk to them." And Avid Exchange, we have a lot of Indie Agency News members who use Avid Exchange happily. And so we go ahead and recommend them as well. And thank you so much to that team for supporting our first Top 40. Reminder, Monday in New York, Lower East Side, the Delancey, 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to be awarding the top 3. That's going to be the big surprise. For those of you of a certain age, Miller Lite used to have secret concert series. Saying my hair color may reflect that. Same deal. We're going to surprise the winners and have a nice little party. So all the agencies that were top 3 were in New York. But in subsequent awards that we do, if you happen to be in, Singapore, I'll fly to Singapore. But today we are focusing on 20 to 11. Thank you all so much, especially our members. We're going to learn more about membership, indieagency.news. And I can't thank the people who entered enough. This is just such great work. I love getting the feedback from the jury, also from Leslie Sims and PJ Pereira, who are our co-presidents. And you know what? Let's just get this party started with number 20.
Playing professional tennis is all about pressure.
Well, there goes the racket. You got to say it has been coming, that.
Then off the court, they have to deal with this.
What's it been like to be something of the bad guy?
Cindy, I don't ask some stupid questions like that.
So you should fact check that?
Honestly, are you asking me this?
You have been quite disrespectful and you're patronizing me.
Tennis players aren't machines. They're real people with very real mental health challenges, some of which made international headlines. So, when Tennis Channel came to us to help attract younger fans, we came up with a safe space where audiences could engage with the athletes, not just as pros, but as people. Which brings us
Warm and Fuzzy.
Hosted by former pro and Daily Show contributor Michael Costa, it's a breath of fresh tennis air.
Don't show this to my coaches.
Launched in February of 2022, the love for the show was immediate.
It's like I'm in a tennis ball.
Yeah, not quite.
Audiences loved this new tennis tone, and fans felt connected to the players.
Why do you always have your shirt off?
The series garnered over 1 million views on social channels with no paid support. It drew more fans to Tennis Channel's digital platforms and was broadcast as interstitial content during matches.
Time now for our daily Warm and Fuzzy segment with our friend Michael Costa.
What's this?
The show was so successful that it was renewed for a second season.
Oh, you guys got renewed?
We got renewed.
Where the response has been even more impressive, reaching a combined 2 million views to date.
Wow. That's right. Beautiful.
Fans can't seem to get enough of Warm and Fuzzy, and season 3 is already in the works.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
I love that.
Oh. Ooh, and this is amazing.
Let's just close our eyes for like 5 seconds.
Congratulations, Zambezi, number 20. Well done. Laura, who's in the office?
We got Tabitha over there.
Yeah, okay. You were off camera, Tabitha. Yeah.
I was here too, but he ran out of the room really quick. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah, well, what are you going to do? I love this. So the backstory on Michael Costa. So kudos for getting him a little bit early, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he's on fire right now, but he used to be a professional tennis player. So walk us through the brief from the client, because this is excellent work.
Yeah, for sure. Tabitha, do you want me to kick it off?
Good. Yep.
Yeah. I remember it very distinctly. I think I was part of the original brainstorm for this. But basically the client came to us and said, look, tennis is sort of regarded as a pretty sort of staid sport, kind of older. No one really gets to know the players very well, and we have no sort of insight into their personality. Like, how do we create some kind of content that really brings that to life, makes it seem more friendly, makes it seem more fun? It was very loose, and it was like, could be content, could be an ad, could be something. Right. So we sort of gathered a coalition of the willing, of people who play tennis, love tennis. We sat in Gavin Lester's office and just kind of brainstormed for a few hours. And I think it was Alex Cohn and Gavin who came up with this idea. Well, what if we just created this content series entirely set inside a tennis ball, and everything is made of tennis ball material? And that was Warm and Fuzzy was born.
Yeah. I love it. Well, and Costa is just funny, and it fits the lane. And like I said, it's just he's on fire right now. I mean, was it obvious? Like this is the talent we're going for.
He was top of the list from the beginning. Yeah, there were a few we were looking at, but everybody was really keen to get him. I think Tabitha, you were probably pretty close in on that part.
Actually, before my time. I was here for season 2, but season 1 was before my time here. But it's actually season 1, they had a female and Michael Costa. And then season 2, we just went straight with Costa. Yeah.
So wait, so 2 seasons, got a 3rd season coming up. Where do you take it? I mean, because and I don't want to say it was unintended, but it just like what a nice place for a professional tennis player to be able to go to maybe let off a little steam, because it is true. And I love that it veered into, it's like, yeah, this is a stressful thing, but here is this outlet. Where's it going to go season 3?
Good question. It's in the works right now, so
Okay.
I'll have to just be surprised.
Good punt. All right. Tabitha and Laura, congratulations. Excellent work. Really, really fun. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what's next. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Luke.
All righty. We are going to move on to number 19.
So glad I remembered Uber Eats has office supplies, but I feel like I'm forgetting something else.
Remembering stuff is hard. And since Uber Eats delivers almost anything now, they needed people to remember all of this. So we gave people an easier way to remember. Just forget something else. The forgetting started with the Beckhams.
So David and I are going to be in a little commercial.
Be honest.
I am.
Honest.
Who forgot they were in a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, was it the hockey ball?
And that little teaser got like 50 million organic views in 24 hours. And then, on the Hockey Bowl, we forgot the unforgettable. America's favorite romance.
It's me.
Give me a hint.
Worked together for 10 years?
10 years?
Yeah. Country stars remembered they could get toothpaste, but forgot their permanent face decisions.
Did someone doodle on my face? Are these tattoos?
The Beckhams remembered groceries, but forgot the Spice Girls.
Wasn't it Cinnamon Sisters?
Basil Babes. Usher forgot the halftime show like 10 minutes after he played it.
I hope I get to play the halftime show someday, man.
And all that forgetting turned out to be pretty memorable. Like #1 trending on YouTube memorable. This US campaign was talked about all around the world.
I want more and more and more.
Better Super Bowl commercial.
They deserve an Oscar for that commercial.
And got $160 million in earned media. That's like 23 free Super Bowl spots, but who's counting? And with more stuff to remember from Uber Eats, the forgetting didn't stop there.
Is this having a seat?
No.
It's the Rachel.
No, I'm Jen. My name's Jen.
Right, but I just mean like this is your hair cutter. Okay, freak me out a little bit.
But hey, remembering you can get beers is way better than remembering how to shake a hand, right?
All right, yeah, come on in, man. We got wine. We got a few more minutes on the burger.
Cool.
Kelsey, so
Hi.
good.
Thank you. We love that campaign. It just makes you smile every time you see it.
Are you driving?
I'm actually in the back of a car, I'm afraid, because I have to race to the airport. Such is the joyful life of independent agencies.
You were scaring the living shit out of me.
It's a lot of juggling.
I know we multitask, but yeah. That's I mean, you're Australian, so we can use the word legend. oft used. It's such good work, and I've talked to the agency, and I know a few people at the brand, and they love where this has gone. It's gone into such interesting directions. Walk us through the brief, though. Walk us through what made this, no pun intended, so special.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, we love working with Uber. They're always so ambitious, and they start kind of their Super Bowl campaigns really with the biggest ambitions of how do we make sure that we do actually create some of the most memorable work that you can put on the Super Bowl. But also they're always wonderfully honest about kind of the challenge and what is the challenge that people face when kind of thinking about how to use their platform more. And in this case, I think it really was the very simple insight that people just don't remember all the stuff you can get on Uber Eats.
Right.
And we kind of, one of our creatives actually articulated it best of, you know, sometimes you'll be at a party and you've run out of beer and you'll get in an Uber to go and get beer from the license,
Right.
and then you'll come back to the party rather than just remembering to order it on Uber Eats.
Right.
And I think from there, we really were like, okay, well, how do we get people to remember? And that sort of creative insight of like, well, maybe you have to forget something else, and the rest kind of went from there.
Oh my gosh. So where do you go from here on this? Because this is so dense and so good. Where are you, by the way?
I'm under a bridge, which is very noisy in New York.
Oh yeah. Well, that's, yeah. Well, it's
Sorry,
what are
practicing
you gonna do?
multitasking. So where do we go from here? I mean, I think it really is continuing. Like, I think what's wonderful about Uber is there's such a clarity of like the business ambition as much as the kind of creative ambition, and
Right.
everything really is in service of how are we extending people's understanding of how to use the platform, why to use the platform, when to use the platform, as much as kind of how do we bring that to life in the most kind of culturally relevant and entertaining way.
Yeah.
And we do talk a lot about like trying to create work that you don't have to pay people to watch. And I think the like
Right.
number one trending on YouTube is the not easy
Yeah.
to do the week before Super Bowl.
Right. No, exactly. Well, you know what? You go, you handle your business in New York. Congratulations. Wonderful work, and appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, and thank you, Doug. Always so wonderful to be recognized, and we always appreciate your support so much.
Oh no, it's great stuff. Great stuff. And we'll see you in LA soon.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
All right, we're gonna move on to number 18.
It may still be a taboo topic, but everybody poops. And when nature calls, Americans have always called on toilet paper to do the job. Like, everyone. So, how does a wet wipe for adult men with less than 1% market share take on the behemoth of toilet paper? You create a cheeky earworm of a jingle and educate people that wet dude wipes are the best clean, hands down.
Drop your drawers, get going. Drop your pants, nothing showing, you feel confident and clean.
Feeling confident starts by dropping the toilet paper and picking up Dude Wipes, the extra large, flushable wet wipe that clears instead of smears.
Bottomless confidence, clean and skin free. Drop your pants and show off your Dude Wipes clean on Dude Wipes clean.
Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down.
Wipe, then fold, then wipe, flush away. With Dude Wipes, you'll have a clean but great day. Now, why do Dude Wipes clean better?
Because they're extra large?
Because they're flushable.
Because obviously wet cleans better than dry. Let's watch. See how the wet side clears while the dry just smears.
Just like our butts. It's just like our butts!
And it's working. So far, the campaign has reached over 84 million, is exceeding key CPG benchmarks, has blown up in the press. And, most importantly, the spots fueled a 10% absolute sales lift in our test markets compared to other markets, giving dudes the confident clean they need to
Never fear the shark. Click buy now to put Dude Wipes in your cart.
You're the shark. Jeff and Ashley.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, we know it. But I'm glad somebody could bring some class and sophistication to this awards show. You're welcome.
My
You're welcome.
God.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't got to Whit Heiler yet, so you know.
Always count on him. That's true.
Yeah, I'm saying that out of love, by the way, Whit. Even though he can't hear me, he's probably in the green room right now, enjoying some of the snacks that we have. Okay, so we have talked to the client, we have talked to you. about this, and where do you even begin? So run us through the brief and where this all went and what it's like to work with a brand and a client like this.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, this, like the when we had the opportunity to try to win this account, we went all in. We were like, okay, this is a game changer kind of client, a dream client. What's really interesting is they hired a Procter & Gamble retired executive to consult with them because ironically, they wanted to grow up as a brand. They needed to like market themselves professionally, like actually have points of difference, have, RTBs and so forth. So our brief was really like, can we create a platform here for this brand and actually, get them some recognition, as a real marketer. So we needed to show things like wet cleans better than dry, like an actual like demos, just like classic Procter & Gamble advertising. So, so there was a lot of actual marketing rigor. It wasn't just being ridiculous and talking about poop and which, like our HR is out the door, by the way. HR is like gone, like we talk about poop every day. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. But we've had a blast with them. They feel like, they've achieved what they wanted to achieve with this new platform, Best Clean Pants Down. Right. They actually have a positioning in the marketplace and it's working.
Yeah, I love it. Ashley, anything else to add to this? Because it's just, let's talk about just the vibe of working with a brand and a client like this. And all of us have clients and brands that we work with that are like, oh, they're just a dream.
They are. That's what I would have said. I mean, it's a dream account. It's just great chemistry. We get to have fun. We don't have to take ourselves too seriously. Right. And I think what I love about the work is like, yeah, this is where it started, but how it's evolving and where it's going is equally as fun and impactful. And just taking like traditional things like the Super Bowl, they're not going to spend $8 million on a Super Bowl spot. No. But yeah, could we take over Las Vegas and throw up some pithy signs about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and take over the Super Bowl in a fun dude way? Absolutely. Like they're game for anything like that, which has been a lot of fun too.
I love it. I love it. Well, congratulations. Awesome work. And you are one of the early members of Indie Agency News. So thank you so much for your support.
Yeah.
And we'll see you very soon. All right.
Yeah, this is a blast. Thank you.
Right on. Appreciate it. All right. We are moving on to number 17.
Roses are red, periods are too. But don't let that stop you from having sex with your boo. Introducing Let's Have Period Sex chocolates from You by Kotex. 5 dark chocolate truffles with libido-boosting shatavari to get you in the mood. Because there's no sweeter cramp relief than chocolate and sex. Get some this Valentine's Day at letshaveperiodsex.com.
David. First of all, congratulations. But still, this agency's name remains in the Hall of Fame to me. And I think we had this conversation. Does anybody, and those I can see backstage right now, anybody remember Office of Baby? Remember them? I just love the agency's name, but I also love the work that you do. Congratulations. This is spectacular stuff. Let's talk about where you went brief wise with this, how the campaign got kicked off.
Thanks, Doug. Hi, everyone. So there really wasn't a brief. This was a proactive pitch coming out of our relationship with Kimberly-Clark Corporation, where we've done Huggies and some other brands. One of our creatives recognized an opportunity here to approach the You by Kotex brand under Kimberly-Clark with this idea. And they were receptive to that. So within a very short period of time, we hustled the idea and the brand act for You by Kotex.
Yeah, and I think that so when we go back to this type of in this category, and we're seeing progressively more, and you've seen it earlier in the UK. you've seen this category, feminine hygiene, talked about much more directly, much more with a wink, but also like really getting into it and really actually doing work that's not trying to sneak around the edges. It's pretty direct, but also really, really extraordinarily well done, like this campaign. I have to imagine that gives that has to give the creatives a little bit more breathing space, I would think. But also at the same time, you can't go. Sometimes, let's just say, sometimes you can eat too many Skittles.
No doubt about it. I mean, that's always the dance, is trying to find the edge on the boundary. And you're right that there's, a precedent for this sensibility and for this point of view, but something that we still have to, kind of control and discipline ourselves within the boundaries of, the client's comfort level and what's going to make sense for all the parties.
I got you. No, I'm with you. And David, what's new in Chicago? I just have to ask this. Are you cautiously optimistic about the Chicago Bears?
I love the question. It's been,
you're gonna dodge it too.
No, it's been a get well week here for all the football fans. Our sports scene is pretty pathetic of late, so we'll take any little bit of sunshine. But it's a long season. So
it is a long season, and honestly, I love you guys. You're one of our early OG members as well. I really appreciate the support. Chicago is one of the greatest cities in the world, and I can't wait to get back there. So, David, thanks so much for the support. Congratulations, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you soon.
Thanks so much, Doug.
All right, brother, man. Congratulations. We're moving on to number 16.
Look at that. Can't do anything. Can't sit. Can't stand. Can't walk the walk. Can't talk the talk.
Mommy, Miss is in trouble.
Can't juke. Can't blitz. Can't dunk. Can't control the ball. Can't control your bowels. Can't snap. Can't hit. Can't slug. Can't nothing. Can't windmill. Can't ollie. Can't play by the rules.
You try the green beans.
Cannot deal. Can't be like Pops. Can't putt. Can't this. Can't that. Can't downward dog. Can't master the fundamentals. Can't stiff arm. Can't sidearm. Can't have the most yards in a season. Can't float like a butterfly. Can't sting like a bee. Can't win that big game on TV. You're born the original impossible. You spend the rest of your life proving nothing is.
Opinionated. I'm bringing Jeff in from Curiosity because my opinionated folks couldn't make it today. I don't think so, unless I'm missing somebody in the studio right now. But Jeff, I love your point of view on work. So your thoughts on this campaign?
Yeah, I mean, this is, it has become iconic. Impossible is nothing. Just how cool is this? Like this fresh take on it. Like, you've got something incredible when you can constantly come up with new stories to tell and to think about babies as being the beginning. Yeah. I mean, it's brilliant. I love it. Opinionated's work, incredible across the board. Incredible people. I mean, so yeah,
across the
really
board. Cool. You're not kidding, because they had Voodoo Ranger. It was Voodoo Ranger yesterday. And there may be something tomorrow.
Right. Exactly. They're fun to watch.
But yeah, and talk about that a little bit, Jeff, because I said the exact same thing. And this is what I love most about this community is it's fun to watch. It's been fun to watch Curiosity on the rise. It's been fun to watch Opinionated on the rise. We're going to get to meet some folks from Lafayette American today, who I look at and like, Jesus, they're good. Talk about that kinship, because we're all rooting for each other.
Oh my gosh, we've got such a long list of agencies that we are constantly just taking inspiration from, and it's it's these agencies that you're naming and more, and they're the indie shops that are just doing something that like the big shops can't do. Right. And so yeah, it's so much fun to watch this community, support the community, and then get to know each other. Like it's been a blast. And, you know, Ashley for us kind of leads the way on really, you know, making introductions into other, and everybody we've asked for their thoughts or their opinions on what we're doing, they all take the call. They all take the time.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Ashley's kind of the goat. I mean, I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, she's got some goat in her. Yeah.
Oh, and so we're going to be refreshing our sister cities things, but you've been connecting with the guys at Brandenburg and Reykjavik.
Brandenburg.
So,
yeah, and we're like just blown away.
Aren't they amazing?
Oh my God. Yeah, it's so much fun. Thank you for connecting us. That's so
well, we're trying to get them to a Bengals game because the story
yeah, we're gonna do it.
One of them is like a huge Bengals fan, and I was blown away by that. But
but of course we'd rather go there first.
That's as well you should. As well you should. All right, Jeff, thank you so much. We're gonna move on here. We are at number 15.
How do you reinvent and reinvigorate the festival that defined a generation? A little over 3 decades, Lollapalooza went from a counterculture movement to one of the biggest live performance events in the world. But as their lineup evolved, their audience evolved right alongside it. And as Billy Corgan gave way to Billie Eilish, they got to asking, how do you broaden Gen Z appeal without boxing out the older crowd? By bringing art into it and making it feel authentic. Our rebrand took the festival all the way back to its 90s roots. With a new brand identity revolving around highly iterative collage elements and paper-like textures, we dramatically expanded their visual toolbox and called back to a time when the Xerox was a paintbrush and zines reigned supreme. The system's flexibility gave us a huge amount of control over the festival's 4,000 plus touchpoints. It allowed us to leverage their partnerships in a cohesive way while giving the festival a dynamic launchpad to keep their visuals fresh for years to come. The rebrand took the stage in 2023 and coincided with Lolla's biggest year yet. The event broke attendance records and brought an estimated $300 million in tourism dollars to Chicago. But most importantly, we got it right in our own backyard. So when they took the show on the road, it didn't get lost in the crowd.
Some Odd Pilot, Chicago. It's Katie. Are you going to join us? You going to be on the camera? You going to turn on your camera? Okay.
Hey, that's Katie too.
As a Gen Xer, fill in the blank.
Also,
why are you pointing at him? No, introduce yourselves. Introduce yourselves. This is our first time getting a chance to get to meet you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Chris, the founder of Some Odd Pilot.
Anton, partner and a creative director here.
All right, and we know Katie Meyer's name because she. No, I'm just kidding. I did ask you.
I'm Katie. I'm a producer at Some Odd Pilot.
Okay, so hold on. So first of all, amazing stuff. Like I said, Chicago is one of the world's great cities. Producers, let's just agree, gentlemen. It's God's work right there. That is God's work right there.
She makes our dreams into a reality each and every time.
Yeah. All right. So walk us through the brief. Walk us what it was like, because you're fiddling with something that's iconic and you don't want to botch it.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying when you're a lifelong Chicagoan, as most of us are, and I certainly am. I was at Lollapalooza when I was in college, when it was a traveling circus, and being able to like represent and get the thing right for Chicago, especially when it's such a big deal, not only the Chicagoans but to so many other people. It was a pretty heavy load to carry for sure.
Well, what I really appreciate is that you just said something that is a really great device to get to something really profound, which is get it right in our backyard. So that's code for a lot of different things. So that's such a nice little galvanizing place to start from. How did you land on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of, so the part of the brief was making it very Chicago.
Right.
Without tokenizing the city as well. So no pizzas or hot dog, the classic cliche symbols of Chicago.
You should put dip beef in there. Beef sandwich. Continue. Yeah.
And our roots are in our studio got started as a record label 25 years ago. And so we were in indie bands and playing at the Empty Bottle and doing stuff we branded Pitchfork. So we had like a very.
Did you really?
Yes.
No shit. Okay, cool.
And so we have this history, and I think that's what Perry, honestly, himself and all of C3, the parent company, what they were looking for in the rebrand was somebody who understood Chicago deeply and the music culture in a very authentic way.
All right, Katie, how long you been in the game?
I've been at Smart Pilot almost 9 years now.
Okay. So how did it feel on this one? Because it's, you're doing the thing, but then this pops up. When you first got the brief and it's like, okay, we're doing this, what was your initial thought? What was your first thought?
I think it was an amazing opportunity.
You're allowed to curse, by the way. You can if you'd like.
I think it was an amazing opportunity, just given our background, how we started with our roots in music. Just a super fun project, really, to show the love we all have for the city of Chicago, honestly.
Right. What's your favorite thing about being a producer?
Honestly, getting to work with all different types of people. And each day is not the same.
No, it isn't. No, I was a morning show producer. It's different, but producers are producers. There's like a kinship to it, right? So I was a morning show producer in radio, and it's just the chaos. What's one piece of advice that you would give to a new someone just getting into being an agency producer? What's one piece of advice that you'd give somebody just kicking off?
Learn to be flexible and honestly go with the flow, pivot.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Exactly. Gentlemen, so what's next?
What's next? Oh, wow. Well, we just did like the 20th. So Lollapalooza had their 20th anniversary in Chicago this summer. And we updated the mark itself to include a 20 and made a whole system for that. So that was literally just happened for Lollapalooza or the studio.
I think you just shamelessly self-promote, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think especially the way we think about brand work here, that was like a big pivot, reposition the brand, kind of like do the big reveal, but brands are alive. So like now we're at the next phase, like how do we activate the brand? What is next? The 20th anniversary was a big activation. And then after that, like how do you continue to allow the brand to live beyond just the brand grounds, but throughout the year? Because they're going global. Like they just had a festival in Brazil. They're opening up new locations all the time. So like continuing to help them grow this brand beyond just this being a 3-day event, but be a thing in people's consciousness beyond that.
I love it.
We just relaunched our record label, so we're back in the record label game. And my high school thrash metal band, our album is being printed right now as we speak and comes out in 2 weeks.
Why didn't you tell me this before so we could have a release party? Now that I know this, so between Quality Meats, Dude Wipes are in Chicago. You're in Chicago.
Yes.
So let's do a bunch of Chicago stuff, please.
Yes.
Please. Thank you.
We have the space for it. We have a gallery called Public Works right underneath us that we host art openings and events all the time.
All right, so it's not just Chicago, but we're going to be doing indies only summits in 2025. First one's going to be in Detroit, but we are going to schedule a Chicago. But we'd love for you to come up to the Detroit one.
Yeah,
that's not that far. That's not that far.
That's easy.
That's easy.
That is. How's Wilco doing? What do the kids think about Wilco now?
Wilco. I've seen Jeff Tweedy at restaurants a few times. Yeah. And his kid is active in the music scene as well.
I saw them in 1995 in Richmond, Virginia at the Flood Zone, which was an amazing venue in Richmond. They were opening for the Jayhawks. They were the opener. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, right.
Damn.
Yeah, so, I can remember those days.
Yeah, just let me name drop a little bit. All right, congratulations. Thank you so much for supporting this award. We're so stoked that you're on this list and looking forward to connecting with you guys soon. And really awesome work. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, now we're going to move on to number 14.
Our voice has the potential to change the world. And for the millions in communities of color and developing countries facing limited access to healthcare, it now, for the first time, has the power to save lives. Introducing Voice to Diabetes, turning voice samples into an equitable life-saving tool for millions.
A major step forward in diabetes detection.
This team of scientists built an algorithm that can detect type 2 diabetes just by having them speak into their smartphone.
Which is insane. This is very cool stuff.
Yeah, it is. And without even pricking your finger or getting a blood test.
This is crazy.
This groundbreaking innovation has already generated nearly 4 billion impressions. But what matters most is the significant impact it has on people's lives.
India is the second capital of diabetes in the world. Unfortunately, 50% of them are still undiagnosed. Voice to Diabetes will be able to give access to the 1 billion people who have mobile phones and could save countless lives.
Our study, published October 2023 in a peer-reviewed journal, analyzed over 18,000 voice recordings. We found unique features such as pitch, jitter, and shimmer, enabling type 2 diabetes screening accuracy of 89% for women and 86% for men. Our study distinguished the differences in female and male voices, ensuring equity throughout the entire process.
Currently in beta testing, our AI solution has already helped thousands of people, offering higher accuracy and personalized results compared to existing costly solutions, potentially saving $32.75 billion globally. And with developing hospital partnerships and 7 different studies in other disease states currently underway, it has the potential to save countless lives, including my own.
Another home run. Another home run from Click.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
So good. Oh, and I know that Jeff and I were talking about Opinionated and how just across the board great work. It's one hit after another. But here's the thing, it's just the work that you're doing is so critically important. And I think a lot of us are jaded ad people, and I think we can agree that you're redefining the way that we can look at this type of advertising. This particular campaign, won quite a bit in Cannes. It's won all over the place, but the impact goes far beyond a piece of metal.
Yeah, that's right. This was born from the brilliant minds at Click Labs and their interest in technology and vocal biomarkers. So I just want to shout out JC Kaufman, who you saw, Jan Fawcett and Ani T, who wanted to be here today, but they've got like 8 other replication and additional studies happening with vocal biomarkers right now.
Oh, so great.
Yeah,
good. And then I have to, internally, just being able to work on stuff like this, it has to be such a great tailwind for the agency.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The fact that we have our own lab that does incredible work like this is really what makes Click Health different. We are just so committed to greatness and innovation, and you're absolutely right. It is such a pleasure to be able to touch this even in the smallest way. So thank you.
Yeah. And thank you so much for being members. We all met in Cannes, and it's been an absolute joy and thrill to be able to get to know all of you. And, you're in Toronto, and you're in New York, you're all over the place. And, but most importantly, you're doing incredible work. So Marissa, thank you so much.
Thanks, Doug. You're doing incredible work too. Everyone should join Indie Agency News.
Oh God, you're far too kind. The latter part of that, you people can focus on. I'm trying. All right. Thanks, Marissa.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to move on to number 13.
The visuals are fake. The voices are fake. Everything you're seeing is AI generated.
All righty, Fuse Create. Steve Miller, it's been a minute, buddy.
It has been. How are you?
Up in Toronto, great.
Good.
This is, it's so funny. This is one of those campaigns that just kept growing on me. And a brief aside, also, Fuse Create, one of the very first members of Indie Agency News. Thank you so much for the support. But in subsequent watchings of this, I was just like, oh my God, so good. So good, so good. And it just gets better. And then one conversation I had with somebody, because we were talking behind your back, Steve, we're saying how great this was. And if you think about it, when you did this technology it's considered old now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We did this back sort of in the spring. And, AI is talked about all the time, of course, but, this was just something I heard on the radio, like coming into work. There was this study that said, AI could apparently produce tastier images than the real thing. And for Schneider's, up here in Canada, 134 years of doing deli meats and assorted cold cuts and things.
Right.
We do all of their online content and social media, food porn, if you will.
Sure.
And so it just seemed like, hey, this can't possibly be true. And we thought, what a great test and proof point for the brand to see if it could truly make tastier images than Schneider's.
Oh my God. It's so when we were the ham, by the way, that's just
the tornado of meat in the middle there.
I mean, I like a good tornado of cold cuts and a pork product, but that when you first, like the first one, you're like, please, were you like, please make this, please make sure this works?
Yeah, for sure. And we wanted it to be sort of, scientifically accurate. So,
right.
The very first one we did, absolutely. We were all crossing our fingers and hoping that sure enough, Schneider's would look better than AI.
Right.
And it did. And then we did, a few more. And,
finger thing. That was disgusting.
Yeah, the chicken fingers in that weird kind of alien liquid. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was fun, and there was definitely enough proof in the sort of proverbial pudding that it would certainly work for us and for Schneider's.
Well, and what's next for your client there? Because Schneider's really is a great Canadian brand.
Yeah, and they've got lots in store for next year, and so we are working currently on sort of what are some product innovations and where can the brand go from here, which is fantastic.
No, I love it. Steve Miller, thank you again so much for your support. Congratulations, hitting lucky number 13.
That's right. I'll take it. Thank you, man.
Right.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. All right, we are moving on to number 12.
This will be a floating can. I think I've got something for that.
Hey, Daddy. Hey.
Yeah, there we go. I'm going to play the second one after we talk about it. You thought it was going to be Visit Lex, didn't you?
No, because I think the Visit Lex got like a merit or something.
Oh, it did get a merit. So here's the thing. If this were the top 41 or 42, then Visit Lex would have gotten on there.
Nice. I mean, yeah.
I love this A&W work so much. Let me play the second one. I want to contextualize this. This work is so good.
Hey, Daddy. A&W is turning 105 years young. Damn! To celebrate, we're giving everyone over 100 free root beer floats for life. Tough luck, Zoomers. This one is for the greatest generation. Yeah, Mackenzie.
Let me know.
I'm only 95, so I'm just jelly. I can't get one. But I'm totally gonna do this when I grow up.
So good. So good. I love that you put in the Gen Z stuff. Talk about it. Just walk us through it. Brief to it's just so all the work you do is so like fun.
Well,
walk
thanks,
us through
Doug.
this one.
Yeah, we're so pumped to have gotten this award. I haven't been this excited since that time I almost hooked up a muskie when I took you fishing down at the farm. Do you remember
That is true. I do. I'm not that old. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. So I'll let Jonathan talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean, A&W is America's oldest fast food restaurant. So
yeah,
the brief kind of writes itself. This year they celebrated their 105th anniversary. And we went into this year really wanting to fill up the calendar with brand moments. And
right.
So this was one of them. Earned media, really low budget, but super idea driven. We had a lot of fun with this one. We she's in the comments, Batty Winkle. She's she's a celebrity, Grandfluencer Batty Winkle.
From here in Kentucky, lives in Richmond, Kentucky, right down the road from us.
Yeah, we've been wanting to work with her for years, and it worked out perfectly. We also got a couple other real Centenarians, and they from around here, and they're both turned out they were both World War II vets. So it just
amazing
aligned on this one.
Yeah, it's really fun. And I mean, speaking of Gen Z, like all the brands are so hungry for Gen Z. They've milked every dollar they can from these centenarians and just kicked them to the curb. I mean, we wanted to celebrate those folks and give them all their money.
It's brilliant. And I love it. Pops. It's visually beautiful. I have to say we are an A&W family. Cheese curds, by the way, for those of you who have not, as a native Midwesterner, I do have to say, but QSR is so competitive, and A&W, it's the oldest. It occupies an interesting space where on the one hand, there is a tremendous amount of pressure, but on the other hand, because of their longevity, because the brand is very self-aware. They know who they are. What creatively, how does that help you create? How does that free you from feeling as though that it's super, super tight?
Yeah, I mean, you have 100 years of source material to pull from. You can really play in any decade you can think of. So, we do a lot of pulling from, the 80s themes, or even further back when we're coming up with these campaigns. So, but obviously it's the root beer floats that people know. So, we came back to that so many times, this year, and really hammered their signature product because, no other QSR brand can claim root beer floats.
They can try, but they'll fail miserably. I remember as a kid in Minnesota, Wayzata, Minnesota, 1970s, be like, "Can I get a Papa Bear burger?" It's like, you're too little for that. So I'm waiting to see where you go with the Ursine. That I want to see where you go with large furry mammals. So I'm hoping that we're going to have some sort of animal theme thing at some point.
Yeah. We got something for you, Doug.
All right. Listen, you two, I love you dearly. Again, Cornette, one of the very, very early members. Thank you so much for the support. And honestly, I'm telling you all this, my hand to God. If you're in Cincinnati or you end up in Louisville, take the time to go to Lexington, get and swing by Cornette, but also get a chance to spend some time in Lexington. It's a super special place. So go Wildcats. And gentlemen, thank you so much for the support. Congratulations, and keep on.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Hey, we love you too. And I think everybody that's tuning into this should drop a heart in the comments for Doug.
God.
So
Jesus.
Please show Doug your love in the comments.
I'm never gonna live this down. This is where I kick you backstage. I love you, Whit. All right. We're moving on. We're wrapping it up with number 11.
Art is magic. Everyday magic for everyone. And while the Toledo Museum of Art has one of the richest art collections in the world, it faced a problem. Its magic set apart from the community it loves and calls home. TMA wants to transform the 21st Century Museum. It wants to champion unseen and diverse perspectives. So the rebrand started by borrowing some of that magic. We first developed a strategic launch pad, the transformative power of art for all of Toledo. And it all starts with the letter T, which has deep roots at the museum. And now it can symbolize its transformative future. So we celebrate with a dynamic T icon, a symbol of the ever-emerging future of art that marks the museum's first step into the digital age. The typography selections draw inspiration from the historical styles the museum has used over the years, and the overall design of the typographic system applications were shaped by the museum's visual history. The visual identity pays homage to Toledo's rich history as the city of glass. The symbolism of glass is infused within the identity and applications from online to on campus. You never look at the same painting twice. You never enter the same art museum twice. This new identity for the Toledo Museum of Art embodies that transformation, allowing the community to always see itself reflected, and forging the museum into the model museum it is ready to become.
Number 11. Oh my goodness. Lafayette American and also Scorpion Rose Studio involved in this as well. I've seen this before. I've seen this case study before. I think I saw it at Cannes. And
you might have.
Yeah. And I was just looking at this going, this is really, really good. Where are you? Okay, so Toby, you're by yourself, and then I got a crew. Are you in New York?
We're in Detroit. They're in Detroit.
They're in Detroit. Yeah. Holy shit! We're coming to Detroit in January.
We will be greeting you with conies in hand. It will be fantastic.
Our first Indies only summit is going to be the end of January in Detroit. Yes, I said it. The end of January. Your compatriot at Decal, Adam Wilson, it is helping us cook this up.
We are big fans of Mr. Wilson. He is a grand convener.
Oh my God, yes he is. All right, so Detroit in the house. Walk us through how this project even got there, what the brief was, and how you decided to tackle it.
I mean, the brief was pretty straightforward. They had, a brand, a logo, really, not really any kind of complete brand system that had been around for a little while. They were coming out of COVID. They needed to connect. It's a really interesting museum because it's embedded in the neighborhood. It's not like, downtown. And they needed to create a voice that would speak both, to the world and to the people 2 blocks away, right? So
right.
We were able to come to them with, as Adam Levine, the director said, we gave him a choice that was, we always give our clients choices. We gave them a safe choice and a good choice and then an ambitious choice that would make him nervous. And God bless him. He's like, I guess I got to go with the ambitious choice.
We were talking about this.
We just ran from there.
Okay, so this goes back to a conversation I had with someone earlier today. I'm not going to bust out who they are, but Client 101. We need to talk that. It is 1, 2, and 3, and you always hope for 3. Yeah. So Detroit folks, introduce yourselves. Let's go around and tell us what you do at the agency.
Head of design at Lafayette American and partner, and also at Scorpion Rose Studio. And then we have a whole crew here.
Yeah, we're all so thrilled. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm the head of client services at the agency.
Right on.
Bruna over here, director of social.
Hi, Katie, senior social strategist.
Do you have one more behind you?
We got a couple more. They're all hiding.
They're all around. They're all around us. There's only so many you can.
Fine. All right. That's
what happens when you're ambitious.
Yeah.
So what's most rewarding about doing this kind of work? Because listen, we in this business, we all do big brand work. Fuse Create's a great example. I encourage people to search Fuse Create on Indie Agency News to look at what we did with one of their clients, museum in Canada. It's really important to understand that there's just like the scale and scope. And yes, the big brand work is incredibly rewarding, but I have to say that projects like this, they hit a little bit differently.
100%. I mean, I think that, kind of going back to the original mission, it's so obviously ridiculously gratifying when, you get a Cannes Lion and everything. But, when they also reach out and say, by the way, the people we haven't been able to reach and the people who haven't been coming to this museum from the neighborhood are now kind of coming in, we're seeing double-digit growth. You're like, okay, well, I mean, that effectiveness, that idea of breaking through, that idea of reaching people and making them to connect to something in the community that's been there all along, right? And making that happen is incredibly satisfying.
Well, and here's another point. So Some Odd Pilot obviously doing great work with Lollapalooza in Chicago, and here I might get a little emotional here. I'm half Italian, so do the math. But when I hear an agency, especially, specifically an indie agency, when they say when they say, well, we're just doing this for our city, you know what? Lafayette American's doing world-class work that lives in Toledo. Some Odd Pilot is doing world-class work that lives in Chicago and lives all these. So never use the word just. It's world-class work that happens to live somewhere. And so I tell indies all the time, you're doing great work. You deserve to be in all of those rooms. Get the word just out of your vocabulary, because what you just said, Toby, the meaning that it has for the people of Toledo is huge. And ultimately, you want to see the metrics, but at the same time, there's that qualitative side of it. And those of you in Detroit, what was at the office, what was most rewarding to you, and what's been the most fun thing to see?
I think to Toby's point, in the end of the case study video, one of my favorite parts is all the screenshots from social and blogs and comments from people in Toledo that are just so proud to call it their museum. And I think those for me are the most rewarding moments, because you truly then are like, okay, we created the brand truly for the community that surrounds it, and then beyond. So again, all the way to France, to Cannes.
Right. Yeah. No, it's amazing. And listen, I've, from my Adweek days to, mainly the Adweek days. The drum days were a little different. They're a little bit of a blur. But yeah, I've sat back and quietly watched all of you for a very long time, not in a creepy way, but in a very, just going, God, they just consistently do great work. So congratulations on landing at number 11. Thank you for supporting this award. And then I'm going to bring everybody on. Let's all come on and do a little wave goodbye. Let me hide this. I'm going to hide this. All right, everybody. Who can I get? All right. Is everybody in there? Oh, Kate, I can't add. Wait, I can't add Katie. Oh, Katie, I can't add you for some reason. Who are we going to kick off? Let's kick off Wit. No, I'm kidding. To all of you who are left, Marissa, you want to go? All right. Marissa's going to go. All right. We're going to bring, there we go. All right. To all of you, give a little wave goodbye to everybody. Hang out backstage so I can chat with you. Congratulations. Thanks again for supporting this wackadoodle thing we're trying to do here. Amazing work. I'm going to put you all backstage so I can wrap this up. Okay. A reminder. Oh, there's Marissa again. I'm still, I need to get a producer. Katie, might have to hire you. All right. Okay, everyone, I got this. I really do. Thank you to AvidXchange. Revolutionize your media payments with AvidXchange. Automate your processes. Choose flexible payment methods and manage campaigns with ease. With AvidXchange, you streamline workflows and save time on every payment. Thank you so much to AvidXchange for supporting this and supporting our mission. Tomorrow, 10 to 4. We are honoring the top 10 up through number 4, because in New York on Monday, we are honoring the top 3. It's going to be a surprise. Go to indieagency.news to get your tickets. I think I'm going to go take a nap. I'm actually going to give my dog cuddles because it's her birthday today. On behalf of everybody at Indie Agency News, I'm Doug Zanger. We'll see you all tomorrow. And thanks so much for your support.